All right, welcome back to Getting Sober again. And today we are going to focus on you. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like this video, even though you might not even know what it's going to be about. Just like it anyway, it's going to be good. So this is going to be a very heavy comments below video. And what I want to achieve with this is to help build this community. Again, I love talking to all of you. Usually I talk to you in the middle or in the morning before I get out of bed or at night before I go to bed. So thank you for your messages of encouragement. It really, really means a lot to me. But that's not exactly what this video is supposed to accomplish. What I want to accomplish with this video is I want to find out what your resources are. And I want you, who may not have a YouTube channel or a bigger platform to share your wealth of knowledge, I want you to be able to comment below and maybe link to other YouTubers that you follow or other websites or apps that you find helpful for your recovery process. If you're like me, I've not done AA, I've not done a 12-step program, and depending on your level of severity, you may need somebody to sponsor you. You may need a little bit more accountability. You may have physical symptoms that your doctor may recommend different treatments versus others. They may recommend that you definitely do not go cold turkey like I did, so on and so forth. So today, we're gonna comment below and comment as much as you want. I want this whole thread, this whole forum below this video to be full of knowledge and information that we can all share with each other. Maybe I'll learn something from you, right? So I'll talk a little bit about the YouTube pages. There's three main ones that I follow for the most part. One main one, which was, it used to be called, I think, Alcohol Mastery. And now it's called Habits Unplugged. And I think this gentleman had been on his journey for, I think he's been on for like over, I think maybe 7 years now. If you go back to the original videos, his first videos. And I guess the story kind of goes, he was just drinking too much, and he kind of felt like he was being judged by his son, which it's apparent that his relationship with his son is very important. And his son, who is of legal drinking age, I think at the time. So I just imagine his son is in his 30s now, probably around my age, I don't know. But this guy, I think, is like in his 50s or something like that. And I forget what his name is. Maybe I'll put it on the screen if I remember. But he basically goes for a hike every day. And so he basically goes for a hike. And he records, he has like a camera in front of him and like a GoPro or something. And he just kind of like talks, speaks out loud, whatever's on his mind, different perspectives of alcohol and alcoholism and his use. And it's really helpful. It's really helpful to hear somebody else's journey and what else is going on in their mind, their own insecurities, how they may have fallen or money that they have wasted and things like that. And that's kind of I've adopted that kind of approach because, like I've told you in previous videos, I typically almost always record these videos just like today after I go to the gym, So one of the biggest benefits of exercise is they say that we learn the best when we have some sort of physical activity coupled with it. And I know there's all kinds of different studies and whatever. There's just so much information and misinformation nowadays, right? And that's also kind of the point of commenting below what you know, because we can all share with each other what methods work best and for what approaches, and especially if you're at a different level of your sobriety than maybe I am. So this gentleman, he goes for a hike, and just like I do, I'll go to the gym, and I'll get all my natural endorphins going, and I feel like I get a good sweat going. I get my heart racing, my beats per minute up. I do like 15 minutes of cardio or whatever. I do some weightlifting, and I come home, I shower. Hopefully by then the bags under my eyes are gone, and then I feel like I'm best ready to be in front of a camera, which is the case for today. And most of the other videos, at least that's my most recent recipe, dating back to November of 2020, right? So let's see. Let me go to my phone and go over some names because I'm not really great at names. Might be a condition of the alcoholism. So Simon Chappel, I think that's how you say his name. He has a YouTube channel, Simon Chappel. He is known as the Quit Alcohol Coach, right? So he has some pretty good videos. And then there's another one, a younger fella. He's goes by Sober Leon. And so I'll put that information again down below so you can check out their videos. But please watch the rest of this video. If you watched it, it's already 5 minutes in, so it's all good. I'm not monetized anyway, which is very important why you subscribe. And then also too, but just listening to those videos, just like how you comment to me and you say that you really like hearing somebody else's journey. You know, like I am not the channel that's going to preach and say like, sobriety is the best for everybody and you should absolutely 100% be sober and like alcohol's the devil. And you know, like I'm not gonna say all that. Like I had quite a good time and a long time on alcohol. And it's just not working for me right now. And you might say like, well, that's the only reason why you're doing it. Well, you know, like I also have some health concerns, like a very, you know, very real and transparent moment right now is that like, I have to get an MRI tomorrow. And I have to get an MRI tomorrow because there are some lesions on my liver. That's a bummer. And also too, I've had like some pain in my left side, right about there. And I had to like do stool samples and all that stuff. And at the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. So one of the benefits of living in Cleveland. But so yeah, also that like, and they found out that, you know, some of my enzyme levels were low and might have something to do with my pancreas, which if you didn't know, I'll tell you, maybe you can learn it through my example. If you are smoking and if you are drinking, those are the number 1 and 2, basically a dead heat 1 and 2 for reasons why you may suffer from pancreatitis or anything else that may cause any kind of pancreatic deficiencies with regard to how it interacts with your stomach and the secretions that help with digestion and breaking down fat, etc. So that's not what this video is about. I'm just letting you know I do have some physical ailments that are hindering me, and it was extra motivating this time around. Which is why also too, I started this journey 2 years ago because I was feeling some like phantom pains in my back and phantom pains in like in my stomach and things like that. And just like, you know, you're as smart as I am. We all know that we shouldn't be drinking anyway. But we just do it. We just keep just testing the waters and keep poking and prodding and seeing, you know, like, oh, how far can I take this? How far can I take this? How far can I take this? And then sometimes we find out, unfortunately the hard way, we find out that's as far as you could take it. And luckily for me, you know, so far, I feel pretty good. I actually feel really good today, despite my, you know, tests. And so I get my MRI tomorrow. We'll find out what happens. But enough about me. That's not what this video is about. Another resource. So we got the Simon Chappel channel, the Sober Leon channel, and the now branded as Habits Unplugged channel. And then also too, I mentioned in previous videos, the app that I liked to use. Again, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with any of these people or apps or companies. It's just me talking to you, is Quitzilla. You've probably heard me mention that a couple of times in the past, and I'm gonna mention it again. And I'm gonna keep mentioning it because repetition is important, right? But Quitzilla is really cool because it's not just about alcohol, it's whatever you want to quit, like whatever your vices or addictions are, whether it be like, I watch too much TV, or I smoke cigarettes, or I drink alcohol, or sugar, or drugs, or pornography, or whatever it is. There's different categories and different icons, and you could say like, oh, well, I quit on, let's see, I quit on January 1st. So I put my end date is, or my start date is January 1st, and it'll say like, okay, well, were you also spending money on this? You say like, oh yeah, I was spending on average like $20 a day on alcohol and whatever else because of alcohol. And then so it'll like add it all up. It'll give you a little progress bar, which is awesome to see. It's awesome to see a progress bar. And see like every day, it's like, oh, it's almost like your bank account's going up, or like an aggressive growth fund or something. And you say like, oh wow, look at, today I saved I saved $20 today and I saved $20 yesterday. Maybe I'll treat myself to like some organic groceries this time. Or maybe I'll treat myself to like, I'll get to, a new video game or whatever it is, a new shirt, a new pair of pants, whatever it is. Something that you can actually have and you can keep, and that's not going to go into the toilet, the next morning. Oh, organic groceries will, right? But that app's great because like if you're quitting multiple things, you could just kind of keep progress with it, and it'll give you like inspiring quotes every day, and it'll tell you things like it'll show you like what the next milestone is, like what percentage you are to getting to the next milestone, and that's really, really important. So like today, as of the recording of this video, I don't know how many days I'm in, but I think I'm very close to 3 months of complete total sobriety. And also with that, with my $20 a day calculation, you might be adding that up. That's almost 3 months times $20 a day. It's like, I think $1,850 something dollars. So let's call it $2,000. $2,000 I've saved, and I can look at my bank account and say like, my bank account would be $2,000 less right now, or my credit card balance would be $2,000 higher right now. And that, if my credit card balances were $2,000 higher right now, would put me over my utilization of 30% of credit card utilization, which if you didn't know, if you go over 30%, that drops your credit score. That's one of the main factors in credit score, but again, that's not what this video is about, just a little tidbit of information. And then also too, like some random celebrities that like went really hard, that I found motivation with. One of them was a couple videos ago, I talked about Theo, the comedian, and he's been recently sober. And he had a very hilarious story about getting so high on cocaine with his taxi cab driver that they ended up picking up a prostitute, and Theo ended up driving the taxi cab that he was still getting charged for. Whether or not that's a completely true story, but like almost ruined he had a big gig with Opie and Anthony, I think, the next morning, and he did really poorly in that interview and did not represent himself fully to the best of his abilities because he had spent the previous night intoxicated. So Theo was a big inspiration for me. And I don't want to say like Steve-O was a big inspiration for me, but like it's pretty remarkable now, like looking back, like how messed up that dude was. And you say like, well, he got pretty famous for being messed up. And it's like, yeah, but like to me, it's just remarkable now, like looking back, looking at how his life was, that he was able to make such a big turnaround. Again, I'm just mentioning Steve-O. He's not like a huge inspiration to me. I didn't even think about him until like right before I made this video. So I just mentioned it now. And then like who else? Let's see, there's one more person I wrote down. Oh, pro skateboarder, Neen Williams. He talked about recently, I was watching a couple like Vice documentaries or pieces on YouTube. They made a couple of videos, and so he's a professional skateboarder, and he's I think he's like in his early 30s, and he just talks about like how he was smoking, drinking, partying basically every night, getting up late in the day, going and skate and trying to do a trick, and then like as you get older, things just start to break down. No matter how invincible you think you are, how good you still look in the mirror, who knows what's going on inside, right? Case in point, me having to get an MRI tomorrow. Like, I think I look pretty good. But some of my test results have concluded otherwise. But so speaking of concluding, I will conclude this video, and please comment below with whatever resources that you know of, that you like, that you use, that you've had success with, maybe some that you've heard other people want to try, some different methods. Maybe you're trying to do the 21-90 method, or I'm going to do a video in the future about my challenge is to say no 100 times challenge, or 100 no's challenge. The idea is every time you get a craving, say no and keep track of it. So you'll get, basically the idea is you'll get a counter app, something to count, to add. And then, so every time you have a craving, open your phone, hit 1. I just got a craving. I'm saying no to it. And after 100 no's, you can look back, and again, your journey will be different. Try not to be like, booze popped into my head. I thought about Miller Lite, so add 1. Well, it's like, well, it's kind of like more so are you saying no to an actual craving? So in a day, you know, if you're on day 1, 2, and 3, you're probably gonna have 10 cravings a day that you're gonna have to say no to. And in the first 3 days, that's 30 already. And after you get to day 4 and 5 and so on and move forward, hopefully the cravings will go down, you know, less and less and less. But then the idea too is as you're adding to the tally every day, just like that Quitzilla app I was talking about, you can add that to your calendar, whether you use Google Calendar or a physical calendar, something maybe you want to go to Target or something, buy a calendar and put it on your wall next to your desk, and you put 10 no's today, and tomorrow and you actually see it, because like when it comes down to like weight loss or whatever, or you know, comes down to like saying no or quitting an addiction, it's a lot of time in your head, isn't it? And the days just get longer and longer and longer, don't they? Right? Now that we have to actually face every minute of the day, you're just sober and you're aware and you have more energy, and then you might get nervous and you might get anxiety because like, I don't know what to do with all this time. I have to do things. I have to be held accountable for my actions. And that can be a little bit nerve-wracking. But at the end of the day, you can have a little bit of something to say, I said no. Let me look at my app. Oh, I said no 12 times today. Awesome. And once you get to 100 no's, look back at your progress, how long it took you to get to 100 no's, and that will have helped you build momentum to get to that future point, which is all of us would wish, you know, we could just be like, I just wish I could just fast forward into a month later or a year later. I wish I could just teleport and just go straight to that point. But we got to put the work in, right? And it'll feel much more meaningful when we actually earn something versus, you know, fast forwarding. Plus, we don't have time travel anyway, so can't do it. But so comments below, and I always look forward to hearing from you. And good luck on your journey. I will see you in the next video.